For me, it's very connected to my life. And, I've always sort of struggled with the big questions, and that's how I got into philosophy. And it was proposed to me, why don't you become a philosophy major? You're really good at it. And I was like, no, I want to get a job. And so here I am because, my advisor, who was my philosophy teacher, sort of prophesied. She said, you have a good nose for philosophy, you'll come back to it. And sure enough, I did. But, I have a life to live, and I have a lot of questions as a trans person. And, like, what the hell's going on? How do we figure out what's going on? It's a confusing world. It's not a world that's built for trans people. Why is there so much invalidation? Why is there so much violence and abuse? And it was when a young trans girl, Gwen Araujo, was murdered in Newark, California. At the time, the mainstream media was very poor. They basically represented her as like a boy who dressed as a girl. It was the same rhetoric that had been used by her murderers, and it was the same rhetoric that was used by the defense. And so I wrote this paper called Evil Deceivers and Make Believers. It really explores this idea of how trans people are viewed as like really a man disguised as a woman, really a woman disguised as a man, trying to trick people, trying to pretend. And that was sort of my entree into trans studies and trans philosophy. When I moved to LA to get my PhD at UCLA, and I transitioned midway through my program there, the department was very accepting. It was remarkable. So, in really in important ways, LA is home to me. But it really wasn't until I started teaching at Cal State LA that I fell in love with the philosophy department here because it had such a strong feminist backbone. It was a pluralist department. Well, I mean, for me, the most exciting moment in teaching is when conversation, or I should say philosophy, breaks out between students. It is always remains important that philosophy actually be engaged with the world. I like it when students can do that as well, and I like it when they can feel courageous enough to challenge their own beliefs. Fundamental to a university education, at least one time, one class, you should have your mind blown. So I took this, a couple of workshops on performance art, and it was for me a fountain. As part of the narrative, I actually really did find this accordion in a garage that is exactly like the old accordion I used to play, and I broke it out. I'm like, wow, I'm going to use this, because accordions are cool and they're funny. And do some stuff with them. I really enjoy commencement, and I really enjoy, I get even a little bit sentimental, when students of mine succeed in that way.